Saturday, in the park. Think it was the 4th of July. Well, it's the 4th of August, but it is Saturday. And whether you were in the park today or not, I'm about to take you there in the most unimaginable way imaginable. This isn't just one more Saturday night, and it's not just a stroll in the park, people. We have teamed up with our friends at the National Geographic channel to bring you National Park Trivia Night right here, right now, right here, right now. Now, on HQ, the live mobile game show where we answer questions to win cash. Hello, HQties! And welcome to the greatest show on your phone, where you use your brain to make it rain, where it pays to have paid attention in class. Are you having an average weekend? I'm about to kick that up to above average. Nay, let's bump it all the way up to exceptional, huh? I'm your host for tonight's Trivia Festivias, Quizzy Stradlin, Christopher Robin, Jason Quizbell, and the 400 HQ unit, Scott Rogowsky, live from the greatest city on earth, and I really mean this, the city that never sleeps, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, with over 500,000 of you live in the game right now, including Miles and Lola Monroe and Beatrice Kress, Bridget in Seattle, Spencer celebrating his birthday with the Mets, who are winning, Kelsey Potts turning 30, happy birthday, Lou's wife Mally with the birthday, Katie's dad Steve Smith, Poppy Neil Lukow, the 2018 NFL Hall of Fame class in Canton, especially Jerry Kramer from Lynn Larkin, and Jackie's husband David and the Bradley boys in Peoria, Chris and Mary, A.K.A. Schlacksmobile. This is a big one. They are HQties and National Park devotees. They're set to get married this month in a national park. Mazel tov. All right, here's what's happening today. Well, it's tonight. I hope you're ready for it. I hope you spent the day studying up on the great outdoors while you might have been in the great indoors, because I'm about to lead you on a cross-country question quest, a brisk hike along the Appalachian Trail, a trivial pursuit through our nearly 150-year-old national park system. We're taking a deep dive into our deserts, scaling the minutia of our mountains and spelunking through savage caverns and canyons as I test your proficiency in our prairies and plains and all things in between. I'm going to ask 12 questions germane to America's crown jewels. Answer them all correctly, and you'll be walking away with some jewels of your own. Run the jewels, baby. I'm talking USD, legal tender, fiat currency, $10,000 worth of it. You know, an annual pass for national parks is just $80. You can buy a pass for you and 124 of your closest friends. Road trip this summer, baby. Let's say you already used up your vacation days for the year, maybe due to a freak model airplane accident. You're literally glued to your couch. Worry not, because National Geographic is set to take you inside one of our premier parks, Yellowstone, in an epic 4-night live event showcasing the nation's most iconic wilderness in real time. Yes, it's called Yellowstone Live, and that premieres tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Nat Geo, National Geographic channel. Something else is happening 9 p.m. tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's okay. You can quiz with me at the same time while you're digging Yellowstone Live. You're going to quiz with me right now and maybe get some money. Prepare for the adventure of a lifetime, HQties, as you fight for survival against the merciless forces of our question writers. Hey, boo-boo, are you smarter than the average bear? Grab your picnic basket. It is time to get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get this National Park Show presented by Nat Geo's Yellowstone Live on the road. Numero uno. The famous Yellowstone geyser that erupts at regular intervals is known as what? Old Faithful, Old Money Charlie, Old So-and-so. Get you a guy as dependable as this geyser. Over 1 million eruptions have been served since Yellowstone was designated our first national park in 1872. If it were a dog, you would call it Old Fido. But it's not a dog. It's Old Faithful. And he erupts every 74 minutes on average. Honk if you're horny. 540,945 erupting into Q2. What is the very descriptive name of the national park a few miles north of Moab, Utah? Arches, bunions, or toe rings? 5,000 people live in the city of Moab in eastern Utah, but more than 1.5 million people visit this stunningly beautiful park just north along the Colorado River, home to Arches National Park. Yes, 2,000 sandstone arches make up this beautiful natural park in Utah. 441,422, if you got this one right. Bunyan's National Park. 53,000 thought it was Bunyan's National Park. That's what my great aunt Vivian called her feet. Hey, tomorrow we have our big Sunday night game, folks. I'm talking $25,000. 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Invite your friends. Get those extra lives. Are you playing 5 days in a row? Those are streaks. Those will get you extra lives. Use those extra lives. Maybe tonight. Q3. Which of these is specifically tested to be bear-proof at Yellowstone's Grizzly and Wolf Discovery Center? Camouflage, tents, or coolers? The Discovery Center is a great way to see wildlife up close. It's also used by outdoors companies to test whether food containers like coolers can stand up to hungry bears. 300,184 got that right. I'm glad they tested because that means more bear-proof coolers leads to bear-free camp trips. For me, we're playing it cool, boy. Real cool to Q4. Which of these is found within the U.S. National Park System? The highest point in the United States, the lowest point in the United States, or both of them? The National Park System encompasses approximately 84.4 million acres of your land, my land, from California, where you find the lowest point, Death Valley, to the New York Island, where they don't have the highest point. But don't forget Alaska. That is home to Denali National Park and America's highest point. So both of them is the answer, and it's a high point for 236,193 HQDs here, a low point for the 70,000 who are out of the game. Your trip was short, but we're going high. When you go low, we go high to Q5. In which of these places would you most likely use an airboat instead of a traditional motorboat? Crater Lake, Channel Islands, or the Everglades? What is that you go low, I go? I can't figure that out. I keep hearing it though. The waterways in this park are so shallow and marshy, you can't go motoring. No! A typical motorboat with a submerged propeller is impractical, so an airboat or fan boat is necessary when cruising the Everglades. They use an airplane-type propeller above the water. Genius! 227,572 swimming on. 15,000 later, Gators. Come back tomorrow night. Q6, which national park gets the most visitors each year? Great Smoky Mountains, Yellowstone, or Grand Canyon? Now, this park doesn't quite steal the spotlight like some of the others, doesn't get a lot of ink, but of the over 331 million visitors to national parks in 2017, this one on the Tennessee-North Carolina border received more than 11 million, about twice the runner-up Grand Canyon. Yes, it's the Great Smoky Mountains. And look at that. Like I predicted, I just had a vision before I asked that question. I said savage question, and it has become a reality. Savage question at Q6. Question savage. Go together like horse and carriage. 37,789 could be on top of Old Smoky, all covered with cash if you answer 6 more, but we lost 200,000 of you there. Bye. Q7, which color is most prominent at the center of Yellowstone's Grand Prismatic Spring? Blue, yellow, or red? It's the largest hot spring in the United States, 3rd largest in the world. So named because of the microbial mats full of heat-loving bacteria that produce all the colors of the rainbow. But the center is too hot for bacteria to thrive. So the color is a rich, deep blue hue. The intrinsic color of water, 24,130 are going to be springing ahead. Grand Prismatic Spring, not too hot for TV. You can see it on Yellowstone Live. Q8, an optical illusion makes a Yosemite waterfall look like what every February? Lava, diamonds, or rainbow? She's a rainbow. Due to the positioning of the setting sun in late February, the light strikes El Capitan's Horsetail Fault just the right angle to make it appear like a firefall rather than the waterfall that it is. Glowing lava is what that looks like. It's absolutely incredible. If you haven't seen it, Google image Toot sweet. 12,738. Moving on after this one. Sadly, a very real fire is threatening Yosemite today, right now. This past couple weeks, it's been closed because of the horrible Ferguson fire there. We hope that gets cleared up and you can get back to exploring and enjoying your national parks. Q9. Where's the only place in America that buffalo have roamed since prehistoric times? Yellowstone, Denali, or Joshua Tree? Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play. If you want to find your home on the range, might I suggest camping in Yellowstone? Not Jellystone, Yellowstone. Yes, you can virtually visit it on Yellowstone Live, 11,617. Maybe you've been there because you knew that one. We lost about 3,000 at Q9. We're moving on to Q10. Hey, boo-boo! Which of these geographical features appears in the name of a U.S. national park? Fjord, isthmus, or dale? HQ. HQ. Though you might associate these with Scandinavian topography, you can visit long, narrow, deep inlets between high cliffs right here in the U.S. of A. at Kenai Fjords National Park, located in southern Alaska. Oh, Alaska. And you answered 5,242. Answer correctly. Granted, you could probably get to Norway from New York City a lot quicker and cheaper than southern Alaska. But hey, 5,242 are built fjord tough. You're getting the penultimate question of the evening. Q11. Of these U.S. territories, which is home to the largest U.S. national park? American Samoa, Guam, or Puerto Rico? Whoa, whoa. You know, that PR is beautiful. Beautiful island there. And their lone national park, San Juan National Historic Site, is old. Goes back to 1540, but it's rather small at about 75 acres. In Guam, the War in the Pacific Park is bigger at about 2,000 acres, but the National Park of American Samoa has a commodious 13,500 acres featuring tropical rainforests and coral reef, and 3,243 are featuring heavily in tonight's quiz, because out of over 500,000 who started this game tonight, we're down to just 3,243. Survival of the fittest is real here for Q12. This is it. It all boils down to this. $10,000 is on the line. A $10,000 prize will be split up amongst the winners. All of those who answer this final question, here it comes. A palace believed to date back to the 12th century can be found in National Park in which state? Hawaii, Texas, or Colorado? Asked about the largest. This could be one of the oldest. We don't know. San Juan, I said, was the oldest European structure in the U.S., 1540. Yeah, but we had Native Americans before the Europeans arrived. A lot of them. The Cliff Palace of the ancient Puebloans contained 150 rooms, some of which are still standing, and about 100 people used to live in there. All those centuries ago. You can still see it today. They're still standing. You can view it yourself if you travel to Mesa Verde National Park in Montezuma County, Colorado. For the win, Colorado, the Centennial State, and we have 1,479 winners. Baby! We start with over 500,000 contenders, 1,479 holding up the belt. You are the champs. You made it all the way to the end. You answered Colorado, living that Rotto life, shredding that gnar with some, a little change and some dollars there, some dollars and cents. Making sense tonight, $6.76 or 77. Going to KM Leatherman, congratulations, Cheap Chirpa 41, Gemelo 88, 676. Rosalia Hearn, Mr. Magoo. Mr. Magoo is blind, but you found your way all the way to Q12 and you won. You got plans, I got plans. We have an understanding. Yes, I am your host, Scott Rogowsky. I hope you had a wonderful time this evening. Remember, tomorrow night at 9 p.m., Journey Through Yellowstone Live. National Geographic Channel presents an unparalleled look into the park, the crown jewel, Yellowstone. Yes, Yellowstone Live, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, hosted by Josh Elliott. You're going to love that. And also at 9 p.m. Eastern, you can also play HQ. You can do both things at the same time. We're giving out $25,000 mañana. So come on back to HQ, plug in your TV, turn on National Geographic Channel, watch Yellowstone Live, watch me. I'm Scott, signing off for now, reminding you to preserve and protect your national forests and national parks. Leave natural areas the way you find them, and go out and enjoy them before our president ruins them all. Yeah, he's terrible. Bye!